extraordinary the Mundo practices. Again, this is, of course, according here in the Burma Nyingtik or the Chetsun Nyingtik, it is the Mundo, but it's not exactly a regular Mundo as we go through. So this is excellent Mundo, and this is the taking refuges. And to refuges, and visualize the object of refuge and pray according to the pith instructions. So that is, now we go to among these, there is 5 different things, one after another, and the refuge in bodhicitta, and the practice, Vajrasattva practices, and the purification or accumulate the merit practices, and then Guru Yoga practices. Those are 5 different points, one after another, is explaining that all is totally connected to the Dzogchen practices. But again, to understand of this, and then we go we begin the refuges. Refuges generally, again, this is the absolute refuge. Absolute, refuge. There is the refuge according to the Dzogchen teaching or the Nyingma teaching, as many of you know. Those are called outer refuges, inner refuges, secret refuges, and absolute refuges, or object refuges. So outer object refuge, inner object refuge, secret object refuge, and then absolute object refuges. So we go those kind of like 4 ways to kind of make a little bit understand all different levels. First, what we the refuge, the cause of refuge, and is the devotion and the path. That is really the cause. That is the condition of the taking refuge. That is have to be to also Dzogchen meditation, or this is absolute truth. So every level of the refuges is like devotions and faiths. That is. And again, we discussed the earlier, and of course you all know that this devotion is so important. Without devotion and faith, there is no practice will come at all. At all come. And for those reasons, Great Master, I took the quotation from Great Master Nagarjuna, said that devotion is, the path is number 1 when we begin to the practices. That have to be. And then second, it's more important, is wisdom, that Nagarjuna said. Among these 2, devotion and wisdom, which is more important? Wisdom is more important, he said. But even though wisdom is more important, before the wisdom, devotion have to come. Without the devotion, then even you have the wisdom, it won't work. It will not make that happen. So devotion is so important. For that reason, a great teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, also mentioned so many in the teaching said, devotion is like will. Devotion is like will turn the moving things. It's like will. Devotion is like feet or feet to walk. And devotion is like hand to gather things. Without the feet, you won't go anywhere. Without the hand, we won't pick up anything. So this devotion is really so important. Among the 7 spiritual treasures, Dharma treasure, devotion is the first. There are 7 treasures of the Dharma. Dharma and the devotion or the faith is the first treasures. When you have the devotions, when you have the faith, that is the treasure. You open the door of the treasure, all the good spiritual quality will follow after that. And we combine that with the wisdom, then really it makes perfect. So therefore, the devotion is also in this case, devotion is very cause of the taking refuge. And then also in the teaching said the taking refuge is seeing the good quality or qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then devotion. That who will see that? That is wisdom. Wisdom will see the good quality of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, because when you have the devotion, then you see, and then it makes sense to take the refuges. So then we take the refuges. And then, when we take refuges, according to Buddhism, and whenever you know, there is 3 different levels of the refuges. And those generally explaining. Those are the maybe I will translate it. It's in Tibet they said, Jiva Chimde, three individual or three individuals, 3 groups of the individuals. First in groups of individuals, second groups of the individuals, third in group of the individuals. Those are also named small, medium, and big. So small is like kind of average individuals. And average individuals, people, what they want, they like to have happy, peaceful, joy, kind of good performance in this lifetime. Kind of like to see that. And to do that fulfill, and then many people also have kind of like more connection to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Oh, I like to take refuge. I like to practice the Dharma. I like to kind of like take refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, because it will fulfill my wishes. I will become quite successful. I will become rich and quite well known. And they don't think of any other kind of enlightenment or anything. But the fulfillment in these lives, this of course is Buddhism. All they're following the Buddhism. So those first group of the individuals, they just have kind of in a way average attitude, and then kind of if you take the refuge, if you practice, if you go to temples, and then you make little offerings and incense, butter lamp offerings, do prostrations, that will make kind of remove the obstacles, the hindrance, and the troubles, and fulfill my wishes, and I'll become quite successful, and it will make my family or myself all well happy in all the things. For kind of that much goal, then take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. That is called average general regular guru, and some also in the teaching mentioned small kind of way of thinking of the groups. The second individual group is then group that they like to be more bigger kind of visions. Or I don't like to in generally samsara. Samsara wealth, samsara joy, peace, happiness don't really have any meaning. To me, it makes more trouble, difficulties, and I like to kind of get out of the samsara, and therefore I like to take refuge and practice the Dharma, and with Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, kind of have that attitude, thought is called mediocre or medium individuals, capabilities. And who are those? Those are in the Buddha teaching. I mean, of course, all teaching, Buddha teaching mentioned is like Sharakayana, Sharaka in the Party Buddhas. Their attitude, thought, they don't think any other things, but I don't like the samsara. I don't like all these troubles, the difficulties, so many disappointments, so many kind of ups and going, all that. It's just all that is caused by the negative emotions, the troubles, ego clinging, and for that reason I'm going to practice, meditate, egoless in the state, meditate, and like to get out of the samsara, get buddhahood, and do practice, meditate, all that. And then practice, and they reach the arhatahood or Bodhayana, which themselves reach in, become the free from the samsara, free from the difficulties. Those are the second mediocre practitioners that in the teaching said. And then third one is the big organs. That is then is called Mahayana practitioners. Mahayana practitioners, they are thinking that in the samsara has troubles. Samsara has a difficulty challenge. They also say that they need to prefer the peaceful life, joy, peace, happiness, that. But not just only thinking for them. They're thinking for all living beings. Everyone, they need happy life, long life, good health, joy, peace, and all that. And also everyone needs free from the suffering, difficulty, troubles. But so to fulfill everyone their desire and their wish, I like to get to the Buddhahood, enlightenment, so I can benefit for everyone to fulfill their goal and wish, and with that attitude, and then have the courage to comment best upon the compassion and wisdom, and then take refuge in the Buddha Dharma Sangha. So those are like three different ways of taking refuge. And we all, as like Mahayana, so we think take refuge in the Buddha Dharma Sangha, and the same purpose to free all the people or beings from the suffering, the difficulty, troubles, and get the enlightenment to benefit it. And for that reason, I'm going to take refuge, and I'm going to practice, meditate, and free everyone enlightenment, bring enlightenment. How long I'm going to take refuge? And that is, I'm going to take refuge until I reach the Buddhahood. I will take refuge. It's not measured by this life or some kind of different statement. But until I reach the Buddhahood, enlightenment, I take refuge. So that is general take refuge. And then Buddha, we all know. Buddha is the Buddha Shakyamunis, but there is so other many Buddha, so many other Buddhas. And the Buddha is also known as total enlightened beings, free from all the obscuration, negativities. Buddha is the wisdom, compassion, loving kindness, and that is really the Buddha. Buddha, I mean, then there is, of course, many more details and all different, 3 kayas, 4 kayas, 5 kayas, and so forth, and all that. But anyway, is Buddha, is total enlightened beings. That means no more obscurations, no more negativities, and love and compassion for all living beings from now until everyone is reaching enlightenment. And the teaching is then all Mahayana teaching, Dzogchen teaching, everything teaching according to Mahayana, particularly Vajrayana practice, all the teachings. Those are the teachings that. And the teaching is also generally, there is 2 teachings, scripture teaching and the realization, practice or meaning of the teachings. Sacred teachings are appeared in the book forms that we all know. Most of the time we refer, those are the teachings. But really teaching, according to in the teachings, the really teaching is the meaning of those teachings. That is really the really teaching, Dharma. And who hold that? Hold by the individual practitioners, keeping that. And for example, what is that? Teaching, for example, avoiding negativities. When you read that book, that is the external teachings, dharmas. But really teaching is, when you understand that avoiding negativity, the meaning that you apply, the individual applying that avoiding negativity by body, speech, mind, that is the real teaching. That is in Buddha teaching called Dzogpa teaching, realization teaching, meaning teaching. Scripture teaching is the outside, these books and all that. But really teaching is the one you hold up that. That is the real teachings. And real teachings of the Vinaya is what? Not just a book. Really teaching is the discipline. The Vinaya teaching explains the discipline teachings or morality teaching. That is the real teaching. Tokwachu in Tibet, Tokwachu, or maybe realization Dharma, the practice of Dharma. And the Abhidharma, Sutra teaching, the books, of course, those are teachings. But really teaching is the concentration, meditation, when you hold. That is the individual one who keep that. They're keeping that. And then wisdom. Abhidharma is called, the meaning of the Abhidharma is wisdoms. The real teaching is the wisdom. When you keep up that, as you learned from the book and keeping up that, activating that, then they become known as holder of the dharmas. Holder of the dharmas. And then Vajrayana teaching and so forth, all that. And then Sangha members, of course, you all know, or practitioners. All the Sangha members who are practitioners. And who are also Sangha members who is keeping up those meaning of the teaching to the heart and the mind. Not just a name, but keeping up that with courage, commitment, joy, determination, loyalty, and the devotion of faith. Faith, keeping up that change to the heart until we become the enlightenment. Keeping up, that's called the Sangha members. So those all are object of Sangha members. Object of refuges for us, outer object of refuges. Then inner object of refuges is then object of